What is up, guys, and welcome to the Meeple Minded Podcast, the podcast where we talk all things tabletop gaming. My name is Jason.
And I'm Ant.
How are you doing? I'm not going to say this week. We only recorded like an hour and a bit ago.
Yeah.
However,
I'm good, mate.
Good. I'm glad that you've been okay for the last hour or so.
How are you, Jason?
I'm not bad, thank you. I feel like it's been forever. But yeah,
it's been a week, Jason.
It's been a week. Yeah, it's definitely been a week.
Air quotes, eh?
Somehow time has frozen. I'm somehow still at Wimbledon. But yeah, we did say in the last one.
We did, yeah, back to back.
But those of you that did recall hearing last week's episode, there was another voice on the show because James was here for the last week's episode, but he's dead. So
no, he's in a better place, Jason.
He's in a better place. Let's
say it like that.
Yeah, no, he is. He was very, very tired.
Yeah, and he's got work early the next day.
He has work early. I mean, not as early as me.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Because I mean, at the time of recording, I start in 6 hours. So
this will be a short episode, folks.
This will be well. I don't know about short, but I suppose it depends because we're continuing our conversation on our little 2-part special about game nights. And last week's episode was all about how much we love them and all the good things we like about them. But for everything that's good, there's always, or nearly always, sort of the yin and yang, isn't it? There's always a negative as well.
There is, yeah.
So that's what we're talking about today. My favourite, negativity.
Yeah, this is the one you've been waiting for, isn't it? I'm quite intrigued to see what yours is.
I mean, you say I've been looking forward to it. I like it because it's negative. And I, for some weird reason, love negativity. However, I can't actually say that I've got anything geared up for this.
Wow, okay.
I'm doing a James on this one. I'm winging it.
Fair enough.
Much like I winged last week as well.
Fair enough.
But yeah, there are things that annoy me.
Yeah,
that happen at game nights, and it's not necessarily the game night's fault. It's just things that might happen.
Yes, sure.
At a game night, and in other social events, it could happen as well. But have you got many things that?
There's a couple of things definitely. Yeah. There's one almighty gripe I have, which we'll get towards the end. But
hey, got some juiciness coming.
A little bit of juiciness, and I need to conclude whether I like to be the attendee or the hostee as well. So
you do, because I did ask you that in the last one.
We did, yeah,
and you
a couple of bits there.
You didn't answer. I did. So right now I'm on the positive peak because I actually answered that question.
You did, yes.
I get the feeling you're going to be a bit more of the negative Nancy on this one.
It's more on that, but it is very much a balance of the two. So
okay, fair enough. Well, are you ready to start?
Let's do this.
Let's do it. Let's do it, and let's do the wonderful topical music again. 3 weeks in a row of doing the topical. This is impressive.
Hey, give the people what they want.
Exactly. Topical ones are always the ones we get.
It's because we've not played games. We haven't done any reviews yet. So.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Hopefully that'll start picking up again next week because you start getting some time off, I'm done with Wimbledon for another year, so I can be slightly less.
Just getting the busyness out the way, and then we'll be back to normal, guys.
Exactly. So, negativity at a board game night. Now, obviously, a board game night is primarily meant to be a positive experience. Everyone is supposed to have a good time. As I said, though, there is always something lurking in the background and hiding in the shadows that just gets on your grill. It just
grinds your gears.
Quoting the old Family Guy there. Love it. People do call me Peter Griffin, so it definitely grinds my gears. But what about you, Ant? I'll let you start off. Let's not go in too heavy straight away, but little things that annoy you about game nights?
Yeah, so a little minor one to start with is your audience's attention span.
Oh, yes.
Especially when you're trying to explain a game or explain rules, simple rules, let's say for a party game, for example, and they still come at you with, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's like, here's your term. Pick a card, any card. Wait, well? It's like, what don't you get? Pick a card. Yeah. That really does aggravate me.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want to be here or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like I'm trying to quantum physics.
Yeah.
Pick a card.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, have you ever had something or someone like that at all?
I definitely do. I think I find mine comes more when you're trying to do the teach of the game.
Yeah.
It's just like pay attention to what I'm saying. I'm not doing this for my fun. I'm not, doing this to, I don't know, upset you and bore you. I'm doing this because you need to listen.
Yeah.
You need to know how to play the game. And then we can get on to the fun stuff.
Yeah.
A little bit of not so fun stuff leads to fun stuff.
Yeah.
That's probably something that really does grind my gears. Yeah, I've said it quite a few times now, but it does really grate me when you're trying to teach a game and you can see people are just sort of they're fading away, and then you occasionally get that person.
Yeah.
Or breaks out the phone.
Yeah, or you have a number of turns which are fine, and then when it gets to that person, like, I don't know what I'm doing. It was like, well, you clearly didn't listen at the start then, did you?
Exactly, yeah. And, there's so many little things that could spiral off from that. The attention span, the people that are constantly checking mobile phones.
I was about to get to that, yeah.
That's not just a game night gripe of mine. I absolutely detest people being, in my eyes, rude.
Yeah, unless it's for an emergency, that's fine. But apart from that, it's...
But, I mean, to be
What
fair,
do you want to be if you're going to be on your phone?
Exactly. You're here to play games, not look at your phone. You can do that whenever.
Yeah.
Facebook is not going anywhere.
Exactly.
And that's what it always is. It's social media in general. I've always joked that I was born in the wrong century. I hate the likes of social media and things like that. I use them out of necessity.
Sure.
I operate my game clubs on them. I obviously have this podcast.
But you don't. Your life doesn't depend on it on certain.
But I don't find myself going on Facebook every 5 seconds, because I'm worried I might miss someone posting the picture of a dog with a hat on it. You know what I mean? It's not vital to my life.
Yeah.
And I would far rather sit down and have a conversation with someone face to face rather than sit down and have a conversation with a donut because they're glazed over with their head buried in their phone.
Yeah.
And before they know it, half an hour has passed and I've been sat here for half an hour twiddling my thumbs, wondering when they're going to engage.
Yeah.
There's too many people like that. And those same people attend game nights occasionally. And they do people find it very difficult to disengage from something like a smartphone or... those people are. You kind of feel like they've got attention deficit disorder.
Yeah.
Because they're constantly looking around and like, what can I play with, or they're twiddling with something in their hands, or they find that's a grinding one.
Yeah.
Same thing with people, but they're fiddling with things on the board and moving things on the board. It's like I've set the damn board up because that's how it's meant to be set up.
Yeah.
Don't move the pieces, please.
I've piled them up for a reason.
Exactly. It's, and like I said, there's some times that I've had a board set up and they've literally taken things off the board, looking at them, that's great, and then just putting them down. It's like,
random places. No, it belongs there.
It goes there. That the board is set up. Please leave it alone until the game has commenced.
Yeah. I like that. Commenced. I like that. Very Games Master review there, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Enjoyment will commence at precisely
08.
But there you go. You've just led on to another one there.
Oh,
another little grinding.
Go on, then go for it because
there.
I started.
It's like when does game night start? It starts at the time I said it starts.
Oh, so
not
lateness is this what you're bringing in?
Yeah. I have an itinerary here that's got to be stuck to.
Yeah.
Game night was meant to commence at 7 p.m. Not 37 minutes past. Yeah. And then you turn up and then you want to have a chat. No. Game night commences at 37 minutes past. You will be permitted 15 minutes of talking time, at which point I will begin the board game explanation.
And you will listen.
You will put your phones down. We might even do like a swingers party, put all your keys in a
Where's
bowl.
this going, Jason?
Give me your damn phone. Put it in this bowl.
Put it in the bowl, yeah.
Not allowed it until the end of the night.
Good idea.
We'll have some nice music in the background. Obviously not too blue movie.
Yeah.
But it's a night. I like... This all goes back to the question you asked me last time about enjoying hosting.
Okay.
I don't run the nights as like a militant thing. You know,
it's not
military grade. It's like 0800, 0805, all that kind of
But we're pretty good with that anyway.
Exactly, yeah. It's people are around, I'm usually pretty open with when people can arrive. I'll give like a half hour
and we usually mention if we're going to run late or whatever, but it's not very often. I
will usually mention, it's like, I would like games to start at this time. Feel free to turn up from this time.
Yes.
And there's usually an hour. So I would like the game to start at 7:30, and there's a reason for that. It's usually because it's an evening, and I or you or whatever have got work the next day. So I will say, happily, anybody can turn up from 6:30. That gives you an hour of just chatting and chilling.
Yep.
I can be setting up the game while having a good laugh or whatever if I haven't already set it up. But, it just, lateness is a big gripe for me.
Yeah.
When it comes comes to game nights. And occasionally, if I'm traveling to a game night, I will do my best to be there a little bit early because
like what you said.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm the same with going to work. I'm always at work 15 minutes early because I don't like being late.
Yeah. I'm very much like that. I like to be on time for everything. Like if you say be there this time, I will be there. But like you said, sometimes being there earlier, check out people's collections, have a quick chat with them, get a quick chain bag, whatnot, help set up maybe sometimes. Another reason for me why I hate lateness, like when I used to have my big gaming group, we would organise a day so that we would be playing all day. So from lunchtime onwards. But if you arrive late, then that's less hours of gaming.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're going to play this, and this day. Okay, now that's got to come out of the equation now because you decided to arrive 2 hours late.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And occasionally, like you said, there is exceptions to the rule.
Of course,
right? If you're going to be late, you let them know in advance.
Yeah.
We're starting at 7. Oh, well, I'm really sorry. I don't actually finish work till 7, but I'll be there. I'll come straight from work. I should be there at this time. It's like, okay, cool. I will adjust the timings to invite you in that game, or we can have a small game while we're waiting for you.
Yeah,
whatever it be, I can adjust.
Yes,
to things like that. But just randomly turning up late
without even telling anyone.
Everyone else is here. We're ready to game. There's no sign of little Jimmy. He hasn't let us know. What do we do? How long do you give it before you start?
Well, this
and
is
assume that they're not coming.
Yeah, because then you might get the text saying, "Actually, I can't make it now."
Yeah, and that has happened before.
Yeah.
And
no, it's a very good shout.
Yeah, it's grinding, that one. Very, very grinding. But I don't know if it grinds me more than the whole distracted person. Like I said, mobile phones is a big one for me.
Yeah.
That I did come out the gates on that one.
Yeah, because again, going back to my old gaming group, there used to be a guy whose wife would call him constantly over the lit list thing, and it used to really irritate us.
Yeah, I can imagine.
In all fairness, though, a couple of times he did say he wasn't allowed to game, and he did tell his wife that he was on a training day sort of thing. So she was actually checking up to see if that was the case or not.
Right.
So that is understandable because I know he took the bullet to come and game with us.
Yeah.
So you have to make the exception for that, but it's still annoying, isn't it?
Of course.
Why she rang you 20 minutes ago? Why?
Yeah. What is so, is this important, or is this telling you that a certain character has just turned up on Emmerdale?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Emmerdale. Does that still go today?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I can't even remember the last time I watched anything.
Our American audience ain't going to have a clue. They'll be Google Emmerdale. What's
Emmerdale? Yeah, imagine Home and Away, but British.
Not that an American sound like that or anything, but I'm sorry, guys. But yeah.
Insulting over half of our audience there. Love it. But there's so many little things, like I said, that come from the distraction, come from lateness and things like that. It's caused by people, right? It's caused by people, which is really ironic because we talked in the first episode about how the people make the game night.
Yep, absolutely.
So it does just show that it does depend on who's in your game group or who's in that game group, because I would say that there are certain circumstances where will be certain people that ruin it for me.
Yeah.
An entire night can be ruined by a person.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
For various reasons, not picking on something in particular, but a person could be a negative for a bad game night.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to kind of go into that with your game selection for the night, for example. Or like if you pick a bunch of these games, but there's that one person that just doesn't want to play it or doesn't, fit with it, then it can't, for me as a host, I feel a bit uncomfortable because they're not getting that experience that they should get from it, if you will, sort of thing. So again, it's that person that could ruin your game night for you.
And I would say, they may well not want to play that game or for whatever reason, but they'll still play it, but then they'll make it abundantly clear that they're not interested in that game. I was literally to a degree, sink the game experience for everyone else.
And their attitude from it, where they just go, right, I'm going to play this card, and they throw the card or play the token, or they're just going to do that because they don't give a damn of what they're doing or what they're playing.
Yeah, and
that aggravates me because then you'll ruin everyone else's turn with that.
Exactly, and you'll quite often get spitefulness.
That's it. That's the word I'm looking for, yeah.
It's like, oh, well, this doesn't benefit me in any way, shape or form. However, it really screws over you.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do it. I could do this, which really benefits me, but I don't care about winning this game.
So I'm just going to do that, and then makes the table untidy and whatnot because you literally don't give a crap. So it's just
I mean,
it's not fair.
That's definitely something I've experienced in the past where someone's not interested in the game and they're just lobbing components everywhere. It's like, I appreciate that you don't want to play this game, and I'm actually very grateful that you've at least played the game. So the rest of us who
don't spoil it for everyone else
interested in playing the game, but you've kind of tainted the game.
Yeah.
There was a period where, I say a period, it's one of my favourite games from last year, Distilled.
Yeah, okay.
And I didn't play it for very, very, quite a long time.
Yeah.
Because I taught it to a group of people. One of them absolutely hated the game, wasn't interested. I could tell they weren't even interested when they joined the game.
Yeah.
And this was at a game group rather than a game night. But, they didn't like the premise of the game, but there was no other games going, so they just joined in anyway. And the whole game was, why do I want to do that? What's the point in that?
Yeah.
Well, we're enjoying this, so either bugger off
or make an effort.
Or at least make an effort. And it was like, why do I have to make a drink? Well, that's the whole purpose of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what if I don't want to? I was like, I'll tell you what, I don't actually know the answer to that, whether you're allowed to voluntarily not make a drink, but I'll tell you what, don't do it. Don't do it for the next 7 turns. And then at the end of it, where you get no points, don't come crying to me.
Exactly, yeah.
Which essentially they did. At the end, it's well, this is a stupid game. I gained no points. And I literally just went, well, you didn't make any damn drinks, did you? And I got really, really defensive over it.
Yeah.
And because I just had enough by that point. It ruined my experience of playing that game. It ruined the other players' experience of playing that game. And I didn't play it for months after that. And yet it's one of my favourite games.
Yeah.
I'm only, in fact,
that's one of the last things you want tainted as one of your favourites.
And to be fair, I haven't played it since.
No.
Now I think about it, I haven't actually played it since.
Yeah.
I've got back to wanting to play it because I've obviously bought the expansions and a few more bits for it. But I haven't actually played it.
Yeah, and I've had the exact same experience with my favourite game of last year, which is an X-Men game. One of the guys I play with isn't a big fan of Marvel.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. Still went and gave it a go, and it's just the whole effortless of your turn and what you're trying to do. Everyone else is trying to have a great time with this game, but I have not played it since that incident, which was probably January, if that.
Yeah.
And we're what, July now?
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
Yeah, it's not good.
But again, it just puts you off it for a while, doesn't it? Until you get that other gaming group or another group of people that are willing to give it a go again.
Yeah.
So
I
totally see where you're coming from on the distilled thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a shame, but what can you do? Again, people. It's people.
People,
People can be
a load of garbage.
Yeah, absolute garbage. But anything else that crops up on your mind as we're talking through this?
Not at the moment, no. Apart from I can go into my decision about attendee or hostie. The hostie part for me is very black and white. Right. So I love to host just as much as you do, Jason. For me, with being the family dad at the time, and if my wife is working or not, it's a little bit harder for me if she's not, because then I have to take into factor of my children, going to bed, make sure they're doing what they've got to do. Again, with my youngest having disabilities, I have to care for her, completely. So
of course,
I want to introduce a game, I want to teach a game, but then in my mind I've got, has she gone to bed? Is she doing this? Is she doing that?
Yeah.
So I'm not getting my full hosting experience because I have to deal with my children, for example.
Yeah.
Unless the wife is here and she deals with it, no issues whatsoever. I have fun, I have blast with it, and I enjoy, explaining, playing games with everyone. Yeah. So there is that side of it that I really, to and fro with. But when I attending, again, I love coming over and, like I mentioned, I love coming to see people's collections. I love to have a chinwag with everyone. Okay, not all the time I like the games we play, depending on who the audience is and whose house I attend and whatnot. But I feel a bit more relaxed attending because I don't have to deal with my kids. I don't have to worry about this. I can actually come and just relax a little bit more when other people attend. So it twos and fro's whether I want to host or attend.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to kind of bring it more into this episode, because it's the hosting side is a bit more negative for me than it is attending on it.
It's got a bit more complexity to your way of hosting, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So that's the answer for that one there.
That's fair. Now, there was something that I can't remember if it was me that brought it up or not in the last episode, but I do want to address it because I have some feelings on it as well. A bit more on the negative front. I think I talked positive sides of it in the other episode, but obviously there is a negative side of it, and that is the games that are played.
Yes,
at various game nights, whether it be hosting or attending. Now, I am definitely on the positive thing of I like playing lots of different games.
Yes,
I absolutely love it.
Yeah, 100%.
However, my personal opinions and my feelings when it comes to me taking games to, say, another person's hosting event, the way I operate is when I'm looking at my collection about the games I'm going to take with me, I like to know the people that I'm going to play the games with, and I pick my games to cater for those people as well as myself.
Yes, exactly.
I do have a few people that I know that don't operate in that way, and it's a very selfish way that they operate in the games of, this is the game I want to play. I know that they're probably not going to enjoy this game because it's not their type of game, but damn it, I want to play it.
When you go there and it's set up already, you kind of go, well, I gotta have to play it now, aren't I?
Exactly, yeah. Or even when it, it's probably even worse when they come to your event. And this is what I had on my mind when we were doing the positive episode. I've got quite a few people, various game groups that I will have over for games. And there are always those people, they will turn up and be like, they've bought games with them. That's fine. Not a problem. So, okay, I've got this game. I know you don't like it, but I really want to play it. So, I mean, your words are, I don't like it, yet you've bought it and are now not really insisting that we play it, but trying to guilt me into playing it. For example, Ant, I don't like Dune. Have you ever bought Dune to play at mine?
Nope.
No, because I don't like it. Whereas I've had someone who has bought Dune knowing full well that I explicitly stated I do not like the theme and I'm not a fan of the game. Yeah. I know you say I've not played it. That is the time
as a joke, though. Yeah, I know you have played it, but
that would be the time, or one of the times that I have played it, because it was like, fine, we'll just play it.
Yeah, and you're going to have to do it now, aren't you?
And
do you think that was on purpose because they knew you didn't like it, or
entirely possible? But I mean, I'd like to think not, because that is a real.
It's kind of a crummy thing to do, right?
Trying to think of a family-friendly word, but that's a rather male appendage move. If that is the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's not just me either. That's the other thing. When you get sort of people coming and say, I've got this game, I brought this with me, and the whole table's not really feeling that. I was like, no, we're going to play. And then they just start setting it up. It's like, whoa. And as a host, really I should step in and go, look, the decision is a democracy here. Who wants to play it? I want to do it like children, hands up.
Yeah.
Who wants to play it? Okay, this is a 60-40 split. 60% wins. They say they don't want to play it. We're playing something else. I should do that.
Yeah.
But as a good host, you don't want to disappoint someone.
This is the issue, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So, more often than not, I find myself backing down.
Yeah.
and just go, oh, do you know what? Fine, whatever. But the problem is then I find that I've not invited those people back. And that is another
Which is
negative feeling that I have.
Yeah.
Is that I don't like feeling like that.
Yeah.
I like to have anyone.
Yeah, you don't do it on purpose to be like that, is it?
No,
it's just...
but when it comes to like, oh, I've got a game night, who am I inviting? Well, I'm going to be inviting the people that
actually know how to have a good time.
In the first instance, I'm going to be inviting people that aren't going to make me feel like that.
Yes.
Or come to my game nights and start acting like that. But at the same time, I sit here and going through my mind with those names going through my mind, going, I feel bad, because I haven't played with them in, a couple of years or a year or 6 months or whatever it be.
Yeah.
And it's like I should make the effort to do it, knowing full well that it's going to happen again, because that's just what they're like.
Yeah.
It's just what they do, and I've gone on too much about it. No, but so I do apologise.
I'll extend that a little bit. It's like, have you ever, as a host, had an audience or a person that has, how do I say this, played your game or is playing your game, but isn't playing it for the purpose of playing? They're there to critique it more.
Yes.
Than
100%.
Actually play it. So that's another gripe with me hosting as well.
Yeah.
Is that particular person that's looking for the nitpicks of a game.
Picking holes in it.
Yes, absolutely. And then again, then you know that they're not playing it properly.
Yeah.
And another reason why that game probably never comes to the table as much as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, especially if if it's a game that takes a long time to set up as well. It's just, you kind of feel like you've wasted your time doing it. So yeah, I would agree. I've had that more times than I care to remember. And
as an attendee, so we're going to go to the attendee side of it now. Let's go back to what you said about when you brought your games to the other host's house.
Mm-hmm.
And we played one of their games. Now your game's going to come to the table. Have you ever noticed that host doesn't have that attention span for your game? Or because I've had that where I've put my game on there, I've explained the game, and all I can see is the host of the place yawning their ass off.
Yeah.
When I'm trying to explain my game to it, or just doesn't look like they want to put the effort into it as much as we've just done for their game.
Yeah, I would definitely say that has happened to me in the past as well. I can't say that it super affects me, but I find when I'm attending someone else's event, I'm a bit more chill, a bit more laid back. But, when I really do think about it, like on the journey home or something, I was like, maybe I shouldn't have bothered.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have just played their games. Maybe I was rude in assuming that I should.
Yeah,
I took
it's in their fault.
I feel like it's my fault.
Yeah.
Rather than the person or people, because that's definitely happened as well.
Yeah.
I've run a game for a group that I've attended, and the stupid thing is, and that there's more than once it's happened, but that has been arranged in advance.
Yeah.
So, I will bring this game to teach you, and everyone's sort of been, oh yeah. But then when it comes to the teach, as I said, going back to that attention deficit disorder feeling, like you said, the yawning, the sort of cross-examining the explanations, and clearly just not listening, because I've just explained this, and then 2 paragraphs later they're asking a question. Oh, could I do this? Well, yeah, because I said that literally 2 minutes ago. That you can do that then, and then just keeps happening. Copy, rinse, repeat. It is quite demeaning.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it is probably a good word for that. It does feel very, very demeaning when that happens, and it's gotten to the point where if I am attending another game night, other than going to yours, for example, because I know that's not how our little group operates.
No, of course, yeah.
But if I go to another game night hosted by someone else, I don't take games anymore. I just, unless I'm specifically requested to take games, I do not take them.
This is it. And I think I've learned that lesson as well. And that, what I mentioned earlier on, is just like, it got to me that much that I've just got to a point, unless you ask me to bring something, then I will, because I don't want to have that feeling anymore.
No.
I don't come to games night for that.
No. Exactly. I come to games night for fun.
Yes. I don't want to come home thinking, was it me? Did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I teach the game right? There's lots of things that can go through your mind.
Exactly.
So yeah, I would definitely say that's a really issue with game night in both hosting and
attending.
Attending. But again, it's not the games. It's not the games.
Oh no, not at all. Not at all.
You know, I wouldn't say anything particularly negative about a game night is caused by the game unless it is just utter trash. But the chances are you won't play these trash games at game nights because at least one person has usually played it.
Yeah.
So you won't have that issue. So you actually covered in our positive episode.
All right.
One of my negatives, which is of course certain foods.
Oh yes,
Okay,
yes. You did bring that. Yeah.
So yeah, we have had quite a few issues in the past. It's another reason why most of my games are indeed sleeved.
Yeah.
You know, I've had far too many bad experiences of chicken wings, pizza, you know, the burger incident that I mentioned. That's happened more than once. But again, the outcome of all these things is those people that I've had the issues with. When it comes to the food and getting near my games, I don't actually have much of a filter.
Okay.
I will say something and it more often than not won't be nice, I guess is probably the best way to put it.
Well, it's destroying something you like, isn't it? I mean,
you know, it will be along the lines of, you know, don't do that over my game. I could probably say, you know, would you mind...
You try and go as nice about it as you can. But if they don't listen and keep doing it, then you need to go to extreme.
But then when you get the sort of inevitable response of, oh, it's just a board game, it's like, at this point, I'm very
you did not just say that.
Grab you by the scruff of the neck and lob you out into the street.
That's like
horrible little...
defacing something that you love.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, food, this is why I brought it up. Because, acceptable foods at a game night, board game etiquette as it is, because there is an etiquette. It's the unspoken rules. Right? There are things that you do and don't do at a game night, and we've already talked about a few of them.
I mean, I kind of have the food aspect and the components aspect on this because, again, the play mat on my board, my table, if it's a roll and write game, for example, where everyone's got pens and stuff, it's like, not on the playback because it's got to keep it on... the pad or the tray, whatever it is you've got to do.
Yeah, these things aren't washable.
Exactly. That's my own fault. Putting pens on a playmat table.
If you've ruined a component, it's like these things aren't purchasable individually.
This is it,
I've got to buy the game again if it's a unique piece.
And if they lose a piece,
losing a piece, that's something that quite grinds. So when someone drops like tokens or something, it's like, I'll pick it up later. No, you pick it up now.
Now, damn it.
Because you'll forget about it.
Yeah.
Then the wife will come through with the Hoover and it's gone.
And it's out of here.
It's gone. Pick it up. You drop it, pick it up.
Yeah, these board games don't come with backups.
No, exactly. Maybe that's something a publisher should start
doing. They should do, in honesty.
Double the price and give me double the components.
Just in case.
A backlog.
Better to have it, not need it, not have it.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think another negative one for me, and again, this is going to be very people-centric. Because
that's fine.
As I've said, I think a lot of things are caused by people.
Yes.
The lateness, the distractedness, the frankly rudeness, as I said, with the phones and stuff like that. But yeah, the arrogant people.
Yep.
Arrogant people. They're an issue as well. The backseat drivers as well.
Yeah.
The people that think they know the game better than you. The people that try and teach the game while you're trying to teach the game and then them teaching it wrong.
Yeah.
But maintaining that they're right. Because I've had that before. It's like, no, that's not how you play this game.
It's like, go get the book then. It does say that.
Yeah, and then you prove it in the book, and they still stand by their like, oh, that's how I was taught. Like, well, then I hate to tell you, mate, you were taught wrong.
Yeah, you've been house ruling it.
But just that pure arrogance, and if someone is teaching the game, respect the teacher.
Yeah.
When you're in school, you don't interrupt the teacher and correct the teacher, right? The teacher's the teacher. You sit and you listen.
And the fact that they're making that effort for you to learn the game and stuff is like teaching a game is not easy, especially with a new group. It is quite minor. I remember when we tried to learn Unfair at UKGE, that took it all out of me. It knocked the wind out of me. All right, it's kind of a simpler game to do, but to go through that whole book in a massive area with like no food or drink or anything, it's a bit much. But
you put effort into learning games. You need to respect the teacher, and this is okay. So this is going to be something I should have said in the positive one, but it is probably just as negative, so it's just as good here. But at the end of a night, thank the person that taught you the damn game.
Yeah,
it's manners.
Yeah, most definitely.
There's nothing that annoys me more. I've gone out of my way to learn this game so that we can all have a good time.
Yeah,
you finish the game and then you bugger off. Good game. Yeah, really, really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
How is that?
Doesn't take an awful lot.
It's always the same with me. Always the same. It's like, I really enjoyed that game. That was a great night. Thank you for teaching me Ant.
Yeah.
It rolls off my tongue because that is how I've been brought up. Manners are so important. All matches in with my obsession with people being rude, and stuff like that. But manners are huge. As you said, learning a game is not easy.
It takes time as well.
So to thank the person is a tiny thing that you can do just for giving you a good time.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank the damn person. That's a huge one. Absolutely huge. And it's,
never thought that.
It's disgusting how many people don't do it. And it really does bug me.
Yeah.
Something chronic. And that's not just game night. That can be a game club. Just even if you don't know the person, thanks for teaching us that.
Yeah, absolutely.
5 seconds? A little bit of air used to just...
It just goes to show it goes a long way.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So there you go. That's another one. Another one from me. So, yeah. Have you got anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go to my main one now.
All right, let's go. Juicy time.
This is going to be juicy time. Now, I think it's going to go more on the hosting side of this now.
Okay.
Another big factor why sometimes I don't like to host is when, there's an aspect of it I don't mind to it, but here we go. I have no issue when people bring games.
Okay.
Happy to play them, happy to give stuff a try, always willing to give something a go. But when the whole evening, day, or whatever it is of a night, when it's just your games.
Right, okay.
All right. As game collectors, I think we need to respect one another that we have a massive library.
Yeah.
Okay. And I love coming here, looking through people's stuff and go, I want to play this. There is nothing more ruder than coming here to my house where I host, play your games, only your games.
Yeah.
Look at my collection and go, I want to play that. I wouldn't mind giving that a go, but we're going to play this instead.
Yeah.
And then go home. I think it is utterly rude. I think it's disrespectful, and it just aggravates me so much that why'd you do that? It's like, if I did that at your house, you would not, I wouldn't hear the end of it.
Yeah.
And I would feel kind of bad for it maybe that's the person I am. Like you said about you, I always, say my manners to people. As to me, Jason, there's no way in hell that I would think I'm not going to come here and play any of your games.
Yeah.
Because I want to.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't get as many to the table as much, and I do bring some stuff, but you want to play them. You asked to bring them over. Now, it's just not right. And it's unfair for the host. It's another reason why I don't want to host to a certain crowd. If we're only there just to go through your collection, when I've got all this here, doing nothing, even if it's just one game, even if it's a small game, a card game, just don't be rude about it and just bring only your stuff.
Yeah. No, I can understand that. I mean, I can't say that I've had that personally at mine. Close to it, as I said earlier, very, very close to it, where a whole night has ended up being primarily that, but then we might have got a small game of mine in there or something along those lines. But yeah, if it's not prearranged that all the games being played are that person's games, then it's like, by all means, we'll play most of your games. But if we're only playing, if we know we're going to get 4 games in, I don't expect, unless everyone is unanimous in their decisions, I don't expect to only be playing your 4 games. It's like we could play 3 of your games, I guess. Yeah. And then maybe one of this person, or one of yours, one of yours, one of yours, and one of yours. There's 4 of us at the table. We've all bought games. Yeah. Maybe that's a better option. Yeah. If people are going to buy a game, we all vote on which one of each person's games we want to play. They're the 4 games for the night. Yeah. Oh, hang on a minute. We've kind of run out of time. I'm really sorry. We'll play that game next time. That'll be the first game on the table. You know, everyone should have a fair chance at having their games played. You know, I joke about it all the time. James doesn't get to play Nemesis very often.
Yeah.
He's only got the one game. But I make a point of saying we need to play it at some point.
If he brings it one night, then...
You know what I mean? Is we'll play it, you know, and usually we will go to his to play it because it is a pig to set up. It's a pig for him to carry, and without a car, it's just easier to play it.
Yeah.
But we'll go out of our way to play it, you know, so... He only has one game. We can joke about it as much as we like, but he's very passionate about the game. He likes that game, so we'll make sure we play it. It's a bit easier when you've got a big collection because you've got more games to choose from. The likelihood that they'll get to the table more is higher because when you have got different groups here, it's like, what do people want to play? I've got all these behind me.
Yeah.
But as you said, if someone turns up and be like, I've got a whole bag of games and we're only playing these. Then it's like, oh, well, we'll play that one. That's really cool. Okay, what do we want to play next? Right, I want to play this one.
It's just the sheer fact that they brought all those and go, oh, Jason, you've got Terminus. Well, I'm playing that.
Yep.
But let's do this.
Yeah.
It's just not right. I mean, it's a very disrespectful thing to do for a collector side of it.
Yeah.
I like to say that we respect one another. And there are times where I have brought games to someone else's house and we never got to the table. Fine. The option's there at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
I have no issue whatsoever because all I want to do is play.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I guess if there was some extenuating circumstances, like maybe you played 2 of their games and then they had an emergency phone call that they had to leave.
Yeah, then that's totally understandable.
Right?
Of course, yeah. But not just come here, let's play mine. Right, I've got to go now.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Yeah, it isn't right.
Grinds my gears.
It does. Grinds your gears. Is that something that you find happens too often, or is it...
No, I've had an incident like that, but, you know... I try not to, you know, have it reoccurred.
Yeah.
You know, I like to plan it a bit more.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I hope no one has to go for it as much as I did. But
yeah, I can't. Like I said, it's never happened fully to me. But yeah, more. There has been a couple of times where it was close.
I just think as collectors, or you know, or big guys of the hobby, and you respect one another's collection, you know.
See, I would say it sort of leans into another thing that we were talking about with regards to the games that you might not want to play, but you'll play it for them. You know, where if I've just played their game that I wasn't particularly keen to play, but I've done it because it's what they want.
Yeah.
I now want to play this, and they're not too keen to play it, but they're outright refusing to play. I was like, well, hang on a minute, I've just played yours that I wasn't keen on playing. And it's only fair that we now play this. You know, that's definitely happened in the past. And, you know, I'd put it in the same sort of ballpark as just turning up to someone and just, but yeah, we're only playing my games.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, we've all got collections. We've all put money into this.
We do, yeah.
Share the load. Share the love.
Yeah, that's it. Share the load, share the love.
Exactly. No, that is it's a very, very good bit. I think that's, that would be, you know, lucky enough, touch wood. I've not experienced that personally.
Yeah.
But that would be high, if not top of the list for me.
Yeah.
Because it is very rude. And manners, as I've said, is a huge thing for me.
Well, it is. And it's like another hour of your time just to play one of mine or something.
I might sort of understand if you're pitching a game that's going to take 4 hours and they're pitching a game or multiple games that are only going to take half an hour to an hour. I was like, well, I have always been one that was, I'd rather play 4 games
than the one massive one.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
But I want to play 4 games. Maybe another time we'll hit that 4-hour behemoth that you've got. Because more games is always better. Well, not always, but
no, it's more of a chance of getting stuff to the table.
Exactly.
Isn't it? So
yeah. Get those stats on BG stats up.
Exactly.
That's what that's about.
It's all about the stats.
Yeah. Bad times about board games. The obvious one is, of course, the end of the night. As much as I said that's my favourite time,
that was
it's obviously the negative because it is the end of the night. It's coming to an end. The fun, the festivities are finished. That's an obvious one, right?
And the thing is that you wait sometimes quite a bit of time to have that night again.
Yeah.
And I said on the positive side of it is that we all have our mundane jobs. We've all got our lives that we have to carry on with, and it's the night that you look forward to the most. And by the end of it, you're like, oh, that went kind of quick. I waited ages for it, but that night went super quick.
Yeah. It's like queuing up for a roller coaster, isn't it?
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
2 hours and you get a ride for 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. board games and tabletop games in general, it's escapism, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's what
absolutely,
it is. It's all escapism, and it doesn't last forever. We all know this. If you can get one regularly, great. I'm really happy for you. We're lucky. We do, for the most part, have a weekly game group that we do. I'm also incredibly lucky that I also run the game club as well.
It's true, yep.
So I have a lot of gaming going on in my life, but that's luck. That's luck because.
But then sometimes when you love it that much, you still want more.
Yes. I would game every day. There's no doubt.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I would game every single day, and I could game every single day. I sort of do offset that a little bit with a little bit of PC gaming. I obviously have this podcast.
Sure.
I have the editing of the podcast. I've now started doing the videos. It's all little things that all revolve around gaming.
Absolutely.
So I'm connected to gaming pretty much every day of the week. Not everyone has that ability.
Yeah.
I understand you've obviously got your young family. I have a young family, but they don't live with me.
Yeah.
So I kind of have a lot more free time. But not everyone has that. So game nights are still vital for me. Another negative. I said there was a negative at the start of the game night. There's a negative at the end of the game night. People cause the middle of the game night to be negative. So I guess overall, board game nights are negative, right?
Yeah.
The whole thing.
And the whole thing is negative.
But games can cause a game night to be negative if you really don't enjoy the game. But I found that to be quite rare.
Which we mentioned on the disappointing episodes. We've had our phases with it, but it's not every time, every week, is it? It's a very, very once in a blue moon situation, isn't it? So
now I would say probably my final negative that I'll bring up, because my mind is starting to go blank. But one thing that I can definitely say is while I enjoy game nights and game days, I don't actually like gaming for that long. So like, for example, I go to Paul's game day once a month, right? And that's 8 hours of gaming. I don't game for 8 hours. It actually takes me usually an hour plus to sit down and game. And I usually game for about 3 or 4 hours. And then I'm either done or I have to take a big break.
Yeah, it's like what we did at UKG. As much as we said we gamed most of the weekend, we had breaks within that. And it wasn't like a 10-hour session or anything, was it? So,
no, exactly. So as much as I do love my games and just gaming content, I can't do it for long.
Yeah.
Usually a game night is my perfect source, if you like. Game days?
Technically, a game night is a break as well. Yeah. Like you said, like from your mundane week, whatnot.
Of course it is,
that's your break. That's the word, yeah. So it works both ways, doesn't it, really?
Yeah. So, I would say game nights / game days that are too long, they are negative to me. I don't like them long. It's the same as games. I don't like them long. I prefer short, sharp, get them over and done with, move on to the next one.
Sure.
Enjoy that one, get it over with, get on to the next one. Whack out as many games as I can in as short a space of time as I can while my attention is there. Because while I have complained about people's attention span, I know that my attention span doesn't last forever.
Sure.
I will get to that sort of 4 hour point, at which point my attention span starts to go. So I need to make sure that I'm not bringing that negativity to the table for others. That's why I think time limits, regular breaks, all that kind of thing. We've talked about it on the podcast before with James. I do think regular breaks, have a break after every game. That's not a problem. You've got to anyway, because you've got to pack up the last one, set up the new one. Lots of time for breaks, drinks, and all that kind of stuff. That, I guess, could be a negative. Is I do panic when people have drinks on the table. I don't have a board game table, so they have to sit on coasters on the table. But when you see people getting excited and you watch the glass,
and making sure it's not getting knocked or anything.
It's rocking, and then it gets closer and closer to the edge. It's like, I'd rather that not be that close to the edge, because if you stand up
a little bit away,
both you and me, we're sat on computer chairs, and constantly they will
knock the table,
hit into the table, and I see everything vibrating on the table. One of these days, one of them is going to go over. Alcohol is banned from my game nights. Full stop. Apart from mead. conversation. But notice I've never actually had an alcoholic drink on the table.
That is true. But then again, I haven't seen you play Distilled in a while, so you might have one with that to add to the theme.
For the most part, I wouldn't say that I don't drink when I'm playing games, but it will be nowhere near my table. It's always off to the side.
Yeah.
I keep that kind of stuff well away from my games. You know,
I take it there's a reason for that's happened.
I know it hasn't happened, but it's a case of I'm waiting for doing what I can to make sure it doesn't happen.
Gotcha.
If it's a sealed bottle, like yourself, you drink a lot of water, it's in a bottle, that can be on the table because it gets knocked over, no problem. Doesn't go anywhere. An open top glass, fizzy drinks or beer or wine, all of that guff, I'd rather it not be on my table.
Yeah, get him.
I don't stop people from doing it, but if I feel like things are getting a bit too close, it'll be let's move the drinks off the table.
Out the way, guys.
Especially on a table that's full of components. Yeah, a big game that's taken up most of the table. You're not got many places that you can put your drinks. And I feel like I would be insulting my guests if I said, right, I don't mind you having a drink, but you are going to have it in a sippy cup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to take you back to being a 5-year-old. So sometimes I think drinks can bring a negativity to the table. Food, as I said earlier, usually it's banned from my table. There's been some exceptions to it, but if we're going to have food, proper food, it'll be at a certain time between games. It won't happen during a game.
Yeah. It's like between the clearing down and stuff.
Yeah, and I've gotten better at asking and requesting, but for the most part now, I do request that people wash their hands after eating greasy food.
Yeah, of course.
And I can't say I've had many people that have objected. They've taken the mickey a couple of times, but do you know what? I don't care. I can stomach that.
That's just people all over, isn't it?
Exactly.
Just taking a mickey or having a laugh of it, trying to.
Exactly. You know, I can stomach that if it means that my games are a bit more protected. I do spend a lot of money on
this
the games.
Just be respectful of it, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's the overall thing here, isn't it? Is just overall be respectful about where you are, be respectful about where you're going and of the people that you're playing with. And generally, game nights will more often than not be more on the positive side.
Yep.
But for me, there is definitely negativity that can be had. And I think the most common one is probably that sort of distracted person, because you get that at almost every game in one shape or form.
As much as you don't want it to, it is majority there, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that's kind of become human nature.
Oh, absolutely.
To be honest, is people are just far more distracted with life. But are there any?
And then they don't get invited again.
No, exactly. Are there any other negatives that you want to?
No, I think I've pretty much got it all there. Really
good. Got everything off your chest.
Yeah. This is a nice therapy session, Jason.
Excellent.
Thank you for letting me get everything off my chest.
That's not a problem at all.
I feel so much better now.
I've now got a nice long list of all the things I can do when I attend your game club or your game nights. And
well, now I know for yours now as well.
Exactly.
So bring wings, yes? No, I'm only joking.
The stupid thing is, people bring good enough wings, I'll just join in.
I was going to say,
the game won't be anywhere near it. So this has suddenly turned into a dinner party.
This is it.
But yeah, there you go. I think we should head off because
you need to go to bed, sir.
I need to go to bed. And I feel like I've not been too negative on this.
I think we've both been fair and had our say.
Yeah.
And see if anyone can relate to it.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to know if horror stories of others as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be interested to hear
horror stories of others, of other people, and whether you've experienced the things that we have.
Comment below, let us know.
Yeah, exactly. Comment below and let us know. Social medias, all of that jazz.
All that
garbage. We kind of have to do that now, you know.
You need it as a sound clip, Jason.
That's the thing. Now that we're on YouTube as well, I feel like we have to do that sort of typical thing of, you know.
But then it'd be good to hear other people's stories and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I'm always interested in it. So yeah, let us know on any of the social medias, Facebook and Instagram. Discord, we're on that. Drop us a message, drop us a comment, all of that. But I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Let's do it, mate.
Let's do it. Till next week, I have been Jason.
I have been Ant.
And you have been listening to the Meeple Money Podcast. Join us next week for more tabletop gaming and news. Ta-ta and goodbye. I really want chicken wings now.